Okay. Hello. You have probably been wondering where I've been. And I guess I'm here to explain that. This is my dad, Adam Sr. A couple months ago, my dad was in a bicycle accident and suffered a cervical spinal cord injury that left him a person with quadriplegia. I believe it was an injury to a C3 to C6 or something like that. I don't know if I'm using the terminology right, but it left him not being able to move anything from the neck down. And that's what I've been putting all of my attention towards. To give you a rundown, for the past couple of months, my family and I were filled to the brim with phone call after phone call, trying to figure out how to get my dad the help he needed, due to the words of a doctor who said, there is a window to help him. And if he doesn't get this therapy, he will remain paralyzed for the rest of his life. Now, being such a crucial moment in time to get things done, you'd think the health insurance he pays for, which was about $1,400 a month or so, would have this covered, but no. They were having a hard time finding him this therapy. It's funny, being a necessity we as American citizens are forced to pay, you'd think he'd get all the immediate care and treatment that he is not only entitled to based on those prices, but because if he doesn't, he will remain paralyzed until the day he dies. I've never seen a company treat a human being like nothing more than a hindrance so fast than how these healthcare companies, this system that allows third-party businessmen who see us as nothing more than cost, an approach we built, treat my dad. You'd think they'd provide some sort of at-home physical therapist, primarily due to the circumstances. However, that $1,400 a month could only afford less than a week of training on administrating the physical therapy ourselves. But rant aside, let me continue. Because of this accident, my dad lost his job. My mom would love to pick up a job herself, but she quickly found out that that task would be near impossible due to how much care and attention it goes into helping someone suffering of my dad's condition. If my mom decided she wanted to skip a day, it's f***ing over. Like, that's not hyperbole. So now, them being out of a job, that expensive health insurance that isn't doing jack shit is gone. Because not only did it come with the job to help bring down that family plan price, but also because they can't afford it now. They can't get jobs. Doing an enormous amount of research, we found that some alternatives will help, Medi-Cal being one, but a significant problem with Medi-Cal is that it takes a while for it to be approved. Another problem is the physical therapy that he can qualify for still can't be done at home and has to be done at one of their facilities, and we've looked far and wide to find a service that could pick up my dad and take him to this facility, but what do you know? The darnest thing happened. We live in America. There is nearly zero public transportation or services to get him anywhere. At least in his area. Well, except for a car. But the thing is, you can't just throw a person with quadriplegia into a sedan and call it a day. No, you have to get a wheelchair-accessible vehicle that, on average, can cost up to more than $50,000. And once again, nothing was provided by the insurance he paid $1,400 a month for many, many years. And we want to be as transparent as possible. My parents did go ahead and grab this car, but they still owe a lot on it. And because they are currently paying out of pocket for it, plus the physical and occupational therapy, they are finding themselves in such a scary spot financially. And I guess this was all leading up to me saying, I think that's where we need your help. With my parents being jobless in this insane situation and their savings dwindling incredibly fast, and me being a YouTube animator who makes enough, but not enough for that, money is a literal barrier between my dad getting back at least even the slightest amount of mobility and not going into crippling debt because this is how our system works. So I set up a GoFundMe for my dad, and I'd like to ask if you could donate. I know we live in times when money is an issue for many of us, so please hear me when I say only donate if you can, because we really only need as much as the average cost of the car. The rest, we can try to take care of ourselves. I do want to note, though, I do not think this is normal. I don't want this to be normalized. I don't think that this is how I or anyone should have to be forced to solve this problem. I don't think I should have to use my influence, my audience, other citizens as a crutch and beg them for money during times when the lowest paid workers are expected to pay the artificially inflated prices that we've let these big corporations make up for us. I think this is ridiculous. But it's also the only thing I can think of right now to help my parents. And especially my dad. Anyway, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate you all listening to what was clearly an event on my end, but also especially my dad's story. And we really want to let you all know that if you do end up donating, we really do appreciate it. So please take care, everyone, and stay hydrated.